Hello, this is my response to those Wrestling Guys 09's Ultimate Roster Challenge. I'll put their link up in the left. Check them out. I just subscribed to them today, but I've been checking out some of their videos, and they are bastard approved. Now, I'm going to warn you right now, my roster is comprised of mainly young wrestlers, and I stuck to the US-based wrestlers because I don't really know all that much about Japanese wrestlers. Yeah, I've seen Kenta and Marufuji, but I don't really know who to pull from those rosters, so I'm not going to even bother. I figure I have enough people in my roster that are already established that they can help elevate the other guys who are a little more green. I'm going to start off with my World Heavyweight roster. They're comprised of 8 wrestlers, and at the top of the list is John Cena and Randy Orton. I know some of you are cringing with those picks, but bottom line, John and to a degree Randy are hot commodities, and if you can't accept that, you have no business booking in the first place. But that's not to say things wouldn't change in my scenario. I would definitely humanize Cena and make him no longer the Superman that he is booked as. I would motivate both men by encouraging them to develop and diversify their moveset and to continually add moves to their arsenal. The other men would be Chris Jericho, CM Punk, Edge, AJ Styles, Samoa Joe, and MVP. I would take Joe aside and tell him that I want to put my faith in him, that he wants to be in that division, and he would prove that to me by losing weight, getting in shape, and showing that he is ready to grab the bull by the horns. My World Heavyweight Champion would be Chris Jericho, and he would most likely start off a feud with AJ Styles. I think that both of them could work a very good match, and I think Chris could elevate AJ into being the main eventer that he should be. Moving on to the tag teams, I picked 6 since they count for 1 each. Most, if not all, of these teams are relatively new, but honestly, there really weren't any veteran tag teams that I could pick, and I didn't want to throw 2 odd wrestlers together and make them a team. I think that's kind of a cop-out, and it says that you don't have a strong tag team division. The first obvious choice is the Motor City Machine Guns, and they are my tag team champions. I also have the Briscoes, the American Wolves, Beer Money, the Hart Legacy, and the Young Bucks. All 6 teams, like I said, are young, but there's a couple there that are established enough that they can make my division really strong, and they've got some really good matches ahead of them. I'd have the Machine Guns have a real long running feud with the Hart Legacy. I'd start them off with the Briscoes. Finally, we come to my mid-card division. I haven't chosen a name for the title they would hold, but I'm leaning towards X Division. I don't like Intercontinental or US title. It negates itself because you've already got a world title. And if somebody's the champion of the world, who's this little guy who's the champion of the US? Who cares about him? And that's what I want to get away from. I want this division to be up and coming. I want them to establish themselves as top-tier mid-carders. I want these to be the guys that are going to be the main eventers in 5 to 10 years, and these will be the guys that are helping the people below them who are just getting into the business and want to make a name for themselves. My first 2 picks are the veterans of this division, and veterans of wrestling as well. They've been around for at least 10 years, and not only are they competent wrestlers, but they're pretty good on the mic. I'm talking about Christian and Matt Hardy, who is also the champion of this division. I think they both have the experience to elevate the other 4 wrestlers that I'm choosing, and to make for really great matches between all 6 of them. My other choices are John Morrison, Jack Swagger, Bryan Danielson, and Austin Aries. I think between the 6 of them, they can make some phenomenal matches and some really great feuds between them. I would have Matt and Austin have a real long running feud, but first Matt would have a feud with John Morrison. And I can't really decide who would be the face and heel in that situation. Both men play very good roles on either side of the coin. Since I've got a little bit of time left over, I'm going to give you my first pay-per-view of my roster. We open up the night with Randy Orton and Jack Swagger taking on Bryan Danielson and Samoa Joe. And I believe Danielson and Joe would go over in this. After that, Austin Aries would be taking on MVP, and MVP would win that one. Up next, the American Wolves would take on Beer Money, and Beer Money would win. After that, I would have my X Division title, whatever it's called, John Morrison taking on Matt Hardy. Now, up until this point, the title has been vacant, and Matt Hardy gains the victory and gains the title. After that, the tag team titles would be in contention. The Motor City Machine Guns, who won the titles at the first show, would be challenged by the Briscoes, and the Machine Guns would retain. And finally, we come to the main event, Chris Jericho taking on AJ Styles for the World Heavyweight title. And Jericho, being the snide little conniving bastard that he is, would cheat AJ out of a victory and attack the ref, thus disqualifying himself. AJ would win, but because it's a disqualification, Jericho retains the title, and from there, the sky's the limit. Will AJ get a rematch that he richly deserves? I guess we'll never know. I hope you enjoyed my video, and a shameless plug, check out my other videos that I have on here. The Bastard Review with all my ECW show reviews. I hope to have another one up this week, so check it out. Thanks.